If you're out in the woods at night, there are a few things you should never do. If you hear something, don't answer it. If it sounds like someone you know, don't follow it. And if something starts moving outside your camp, pretend you didn't hear it. Welcome to Campfire Static, where the woods watch back. Story 1. John Griffin had always liked quiet roads. As a rural utility inspector, most of his job was spent driving through places most people never saw. Long stretches of cracked pavement, sagging power lines, and forgotten mountain towns where the only movement came from wind through the trees. It was peaceful, predictable, until that night. He was cutting through a back route to save time, a narrow mountain road that twisted like a spine through dense forest. No cell service, no streetlights, just his headlights carving a tunnel through the dark. The radio crackled with static. John tapped it. Nothing but a low hiss. He shut it off. That's when he saw the figure, standing on the right shoulder of the road. At first, he thought it was a deer standing upright, his brain trying to make sense of the shape. But as he got closer, the headlights caught it fully. A person. Tall. Still. Facing the woods, not the road. John slowed instinctively. "Hey!" he called out through the glass, though he knew they couldn't hear him. No movement. As he passed, the figure's head turned. Too fast, too sharp, and for a split second, John caught its face. Or what should have been a face. There was something wrong with it. Too pale, too smooth. He drove faster. "Just someone messing around," he muttered. "Probably drunk." The road curved, climbing higher into the mountains. His headlights bounced off rock walls and dense trees. Then the radio clicked back on. Not static this time. A voice. "John?" His grip tightened on the wheel. "John Griffin?" He froze. "I didn't—" He reached for the radio, but his hand stopped halfway. The voice wasn't coming from the speakers. It was behind him. John's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. The voice came again, softer this time, closer. "You didn't stop." He slammed his foot on the gas. The engine roared, tires gripping the uneven pavement as he pushed the car faster than he should have on a road like this. His headlights flickered, then went out. Total darkness swallowed him. John swore, fumbling for the high beams, anything, but nothing responded. The dashboard lights dimmed, then surged back. The headlights snapped on again. And something was standing in the road. He jerked the wheel, barely missing it, the car skidding as gravel spit out from under the tires. He didn't look directly at it, couldn't, but he saw enough. Same height, same shape, same wrong face. Now it was in front of him. No, no, no. The road twisted again, but something felt off. The turns were too familiar. He glanced at the odometer. He'd been driving for 20 minutes. He should have hit the highway by now. The radio crackled again. "You passed me." John's breath came fast, shallow. In the rearview mirror, it was there, sitting in the back seat, its head tilted slightly, like it was studying him. He slammed the brakes. The car screeched to a halt. Silence. John didn't move. Slowly, painfully, he turned his head. The back seat was empty. A long exhale left his lungs. Just keep driving," he whispered. "Just get to the highway." He pressed the gas again, hands trembling. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Then, finally, a green sign. Highway ahead, 2 miles. Relief hit him so hard it almost made him laugh. The trees began to thin, the road straightening out. The oppressive darkness lifted just enough to breathe. Then, something moved in the passenger seat. John turned his head slowly. It was sitting there now, closer than before, its face inches from his, smiling. Not a normal smile, too wide, too still. "You made it," it whispered. John screamed, jerking the wheel as the highway lights came into view. The car burst out of the mountain road, tires hitting smooth pavement. And just like that, it was gone. The passenger seat empty, the radio silent. John didn't stop driving until he reached the nearest gas station, lights blazing, people moving, normal life continuing like nothing had happened. He sat in the car for a long time, staring at his reflection in the windshield. Then he noticed something. In the faint glow of the overhead lights, his reflection was smiling. Story 2. Deputy Aaron Cole worked the kind of nights most officers tried to avoid. Rural patrol. Miles of empty road, long stretches of forest, calls that came in late, if they came in at all. Out here, it was less about crime and more about presence, keeping the peace in places that already felt forgotten. Just past midnight, his cruiser rolled along a two-lane road that cut through farmland and woods, the tires humming low against the pavement. No houses for miles, no lights but his own. Then dispatch cracked through the radio. Unit 12, report of a pedestrian on County Road E. Caller states they're just standing in the roadway. Aaron grabbed the mic. Unit 12 en route. A pedestrian out here, this late, wasn't normal, but it wasn't unheard of either. Drunk, stranded, lost. It happened. Still, something about it sat wrong. He found them 5 minutes later, standing on the edge of the road, not waving, not pacing, just standing. Aaron slowed, angling the cruiser so the spotlight washed over them. A man, maybe mid-30s, thin, clothes dark enough to blend into the trees. The man didn't react to the light. Aaron stepped out, one hand resting near his belt. "Evening. You all right?" No answer. The man's head tilted slightly, like he was listening to something far away. Aaron took a few cautious steps closer. "Sir?" The man spoke, but his voice didn't match his face. "Unit 12. Aaron froze. That was dispatch, clear as day. "What's your status?" The words came from the man's mouth, but they sounded exactly like the dispatcher back at the station. Aaron took a step back. "All right, that's enough. Turn around, hands where I can see." The radio on his shoulder crackled. "Unit 12, what's your status?" Aaron's stomach dropped. Same voice, same tone. Two places at once. He slowly turned his head toward the cruiser. The radio hissed again. "What's your status?" He looked back at the man, still standing there, still staring. Then, the sound of an engine. Loud. Too loud. Aaron whipped around. Headlights were barreling down the road behind him, fast, blinding, closing the distance in seconds. "Hey!" he shouted, stepping aside, raising an arm. The lights didn't slow, didn't swerve. They were going to hit him. Aaron dove toward the ditch, and the sound cut out. No impact, no passing vehicle, just silence. He scrambled up, heart pounding, scanning the road. Nothing. No headlights, no taillights, no car. The road stretched empty in both directions. Behind him, the cruiser radio crackled again. "Unit 12, respond." Aaron backed toward the car, eyes locked on the darkness. "Dispatch," he said into the mic, voice tight. "Repeat last transmission." Static. Then, his own voice came back. Dispatch, repeat last transmission. Aaron dropped the mic like it burned. Slowly, he turned back toward where the man had been standing. He was closer now, halfway across the road. Aaron hadn't heard him move. The man's mouth opened again, and this time, multiple voices came out at once. Dispatch, Aaron, someone else. Layered, overlapping. Respond. Status. Help. The air felt wrong, heavy, pressing in. Then the sound came back. Engines, not one, multiple, surrounding him. Headlights flickered through the trees, left, right, behind him. Cars racing past, just out of sight, tires tearing through gravel, engines screaming. But the road in front of him remained empty. Aaron stumbled back against his cruiser, fumbling for the door. "This isn't real," he muttered. "This isn't real." The man took another step closer, then another. The voices grew louder, closer, matching the rhythm of Aaron's own breathing. Aaron. His name. That wasn't dispatch. You stopped. The headlights flared again, directly in front of him, blinding, charging straight toward him. Aaron shut his eyes, bracing. A horn blared. Real. Sharp. Close. A second set of headlights cut across the scene. A cruiser. Another deputy. Aaron opened his eyes. The road was normal again. Silent. Empty. The man was gone. The phantom headlights were gone. Only one vehicle approached, Deputy Harris, slowing as he pulled up alongside. Harris leaned out the window. "Cole, you good? You're standing in the middle of the road." Aaron looked around wildly. "You didn't see, there was—" "See what?" Harris frowned. "Dispatch couldn't raise you. Said you went quiet." Aaron glanced at his radio. Silent. No static. No voices. He looked back to the roadside. Nothing but trees. Harris stepped out, walking over. "You sure you're all right?" Aaron nodded slowly. Yeah, I'm good." But as they stood there, the quiet settling back in, Harris's radio crackled. Both men froze. A voice came through, distorted, layered. Unit 12. It wasn't dispatch, and it wasn't either of them. Story 3. Miles Turner had been driving long haul for 8 years, and if there was one thing he trusted, it was the road. The road made sense. You stayed in your lane, watched your mirrors, and kept moving. Simple rules, predictable outcomes. That night wasn't supposed to be any different. He was 40 miles out from the next truck stop, cutting through a rural stretch of highway that barely saw traffic after midnight. No exits, no lights, just asphalt slicing through open land and scattered woods. The CB radio muttered low chatter, distant drivers swapping updates. Miles adjusted in his seat, eyes steady on the beams of his headlights stretching ahead. Then, something stepped into the road. Jesus! He jerked the wheel hard, the truck roaring as the trailer fishtailed slightly behind him. The tires screamed against the pavement as he barely missed it. For a split second, his headlights lit it up. Tall. Too tall. Standing upright. Not a deer. Not anything he could name. Hell was that? He slowed, heart pounding, checking his mirrors. Nothing behind him. The road empty again. Miles exhaled hard, easing the truck onto the shoulder. Gravel crunched under the tires as he brought the rig to a stop. Probably just an animal, he muttered, though he didn't believe it. He grabbed a flashlight and stepped out. The night air hit him cold and still. No wind, no sound. The highway stretched endlessly in both directions, his truck idling behind him, headlights cutting through the dark. "Hey," he called out. "You all right out here?" No response. He walked a few steps toward where it had been. That's when he saw it, standing off the shoulder now, in the dark. He hadn't heard it move. The flashlight beam shook slightly as it landed on the figure. It was facing him. Bipedal, long limbs, wrong proportions. Its head tilted slowly. Miles felt his chest tighten. "Nope," he said under his breath. "Nope." He turned and walked, fast, back to the truck, climbing into the cab and slamming the door. Locks clicked. He threw it into gear and pulled back onto the road, engine roaring louder than before. "Just keep driving," he said. "Just keep—" Something hit the side of the trailer, hard. The whole truck lurched slightly. Miles flinched, gripping the wheel. What the hell? Another impact, then another, like something was keeping pace with him. "That's not possible," he whispered. He was pushing 60. Nothing should be running alongside him out here. The CB radio crackled. "Driver." Miles froze. He hadn't touched the mic. "You stopped." His eyes flicked to the radio. "You shouldn't have stopped." The voice was wrong, flat, hollow, like it was being forced through something that didn't understand how to speak. The truck rocked, left, right. Not wind, not the road. Like something was grabbing onto it. Miles fought the wheel. "Stay straight, stay straight." A loud bang slammed against the passenger side. Then came the sound. Footsteps. Heavy. Fast. Right outside the cab. Keeping pace. Miles's breath hitched. No way. No way. He glanced at the passenger window. For a split second, something moved out there, keeping up with him, its head level with the cab. Too tall. The radio burst again, multiple voices this time, layered. "Miles, turn around. We're still here." "I didn't tell anyone my name," he said, voice shaking. The footsteps grew louder, closer. Then, silence. The truck steadied. The rocking stopped. The radio went dead. Miles didn't slow down, didn't look in the mirrors, didn't check the sides. He just drove. 5 miles. 10. 20. Then, lights. Bright. Real. A truck stop rose out of the darkness ahead, glowing like a lifeline. Miles pulled in fast, air brakes hissing as he parked among a row of other rigs. Engines idled. People moved. Normal sounds flooded back in. He sat there, hands still gripping the wheel, waiting, listening. Nothing. No footsteps, no voices, no movement outside the cab. Just the low hum of other trucks and the distant sound of a door slamming. Miles finally exhaled, long and slow. "Yeah," he muttered. "Just tired, that's all." But as he reached to turn off the engine, the CB radio crackled one last time. Soft. Close. "You didn't make it." I hope you enjoyed this story. If you have a story that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand on end, share it here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel and allows me to curate more of these stories for you.